Hello everyone, Neorox87 here. First of all, don't let this scene make you think this is a pricing game recap, because it's not. I just got done filming a pricing game recap, and I have an announcement video I need to make here. I got a couple things to cover, so I'm going to cut right to the chase. First thing kind of does pertain to my pricing game recaps. As I have mentioned in the past on my channel, my dad has gone through some medical problems. I've stated that at various points. What I need to back up in my story here. In 2012, my dad spent a period of time in the hospital for what ended up being blood clots in his lungs, also known as a pulmonary embolism. I'm not going to go into the details on what's all happening, but anyway, he spent a period of time in the hospital. He was actually in the hospital for just over 2 months. Yeah, I never really said anything about that on YouTube. I thought about making a video about it, but it just ended up going off to the wayside. During that time, I only actually did one video, and that was a pricing game recap in May of 2012. It was the day Mr. Horgan let me do Make Your Move, which, as you probably know, is my favorite game. But anyway, what I'm getting at here is, at this point in time, my dad is once again in the hospital. Now, I didn't come here to YouTube to tell everyone what his condition is and what's going on and all that. That's, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you probably know that stuff. But the rest of you, that's not really, that doesn't really need to be brought up. What I'm getting at here is, actually, at this point in time, he's not in a hospital here in town where I live. He's in a hospital out of town, getting better. That can help getting him back to normal faster. I mean, I've been through this before, so it's kind of going through the same process over again. What I'm getting at here is, from this point forward, I am taking somewhat of a hiatus from doing pricing game recaps. Both current and retro recaps. You know, just so I can deal with the stuff going on with my dad at this point in time. You know, there comes a point where there's just some things that are more important than others. And the YouTube stuff just doesn't matter in a case like this, as it kind of did the last time this happened. So I'm not making this hiatus like I did earlier this year after Rachel left after her last show before she had her baby. It's I will still continue to be an active member of the Pricing Game Recap team. It's just that you will not be seeing any recaps from me in the immediate future. I know I didn't really want to make this decision, but it's kind of, what's going on is kind of more important than me doing recaps like this. You know, and I'm kind of bummed because as you probably know from watching these recaps and following not just me but the entire Pricing Game Recap team, that that this season we started a thing where I could finish all of the pricing games that I haven't recapped yet. And so far I've been able to do a couple. And I have not gotten through all of them. Some of which I've been waiting till I've had more practice with in retro recaps. This is kind of disappointing to me because if you saw, I did a couple of videos for my 6-year anniversary this year, which I'll get to in a minute. And one of them was on there. One of the games I wanted more practice with was on there, and that was Spelling Bee. After doing that video, I finally feel confident enough to do Spelling Bee. And now with this hiatus, I am a little bummed. But I hope I can still get all these recapped games I haven't done recap, is what I'm trying to say. At last check, I think I have about 8 games I haven't done yet. I don't remember what they all are off the top of my head. I can say Spelling Bee, 5 price tags. High-low, line them up. Alright, Spelling Bee, 5 price tags, high-low, line them up. Check game, Take Two. I'm sure there's more. I think Danger Price is one of them. God, there's one more out there, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I'm not going to sit here and try to think about that. So other than that, my only other pricing and recap related announcement is, I don't think we ever mentioned this on here, actually on YouTube. I asked on Facebook to the members of the recap team to let me do the Valentine's Day show this year, and so far everyone has been in agreement, is okay with that, is what I'm trying to say. At this point in time, I don't know when my dad is going to be able to come home. He's recovering very well. He's out of town right now, so I can't just go and see him whenever I can. As I mentioned before, I can't drive, so that further hinders the problem there. So once he does come back to my hometown of Fond du Lac here in Wisconsin, then my time is going to have to be devoted to, going to see him whenever I can. So, I mean, he's out of town right now, but I've been able to go and see him on weekends, usually. I usually have a ride from a member of the family. So, but what I'm saying is, once he does come back to Fond du Lac, my time for pricing and recaps is going to be extremely limited. So I'm choosing to I don't want to say just not do them, but I'm going to need a break, is what I'm trying to say. So, anyway, getting back to this whole Valentine's Day pricing and recap story. At this point in time, I still plan to do that. I would hope that my dad is back home by then. He has actually been in the hospital now for just over a month. And things looked very skeptical at the beginning, let me tell you. Things were very scary. That first night at the hospital there, I was actually really calm, but I should have been a lot more scared than I was. But that's enough of that. So he has been in the hospital, like I said, he's actually been in the hospital since, I gotta think, it was the Friday before Thanksgiving. So, I mean, I've been through this before with him being in the hospital and stuff. So, I'm dealing with it as best I can. So, my main announcement here is, I'm going to need a little time to myself. And my pricing and recaps are going to be put on hold. I'm going to say at least, I'm just going to put everything off until the end of January, and we'll see where everything is by then. So no current pricing and recaps, no retro recaps from me, and at the end of January we'll see where I'm at then, and we'll go from there. Now, speaking of videos here on YouTube and stuff, and if you'll excuse me while I take a drink of water. That's better. As I said before, I just got done doing a pricing game recap for the best of 2013, so I'm a little parched. Anyway, speaking of videos and stuff, I have this next announcement. I meant to do a video about when I did my 6-year anniversary videos, and I never got around to it, and this whole thing with my dad, like I just said, kind of made that the problem. I also came down with a cold, for lack of a better term, at the end of October, and I just could not shake it, which caused a delay in me doing my my 6-year anniversary videos. I didn't actually do them until the 2 days before my dad was put in the hospital, which was the 20th and 21st of November. My actual 6-year anniversary was November 15th. But anyway, I meant to do a video about this, and I never got around to it, so here it is. In October, I actually purchased a new camcorder. This camcorder is actually an HD camcorder as opposed to this one. This is my old camcorder I'm using right now. And I felt that it was time for an upgrade. I've had this camera since May of 2009, the one you guys are... the one I'm using right now. I've had this since May of 2009. Some of the reason why I bought a new one was brought on by my... if you guys remember my 25th birthday bash I did back in 2012, I bought an... what do you call them? A memory stick for it. It's basically a memory card that's just a different shape. And after that, I've noticed stuff changing with my videos. Actually, what it turns out is that I thought it was my camera just getting old, because quite frankly it is. But it's actually more stuff that YouTube is doing. So there's not much I can really do about that. But anyway, I felt it was time for an upgrade, and I got this one. This one actually holds, excuse me, twice as much in terms of gigabytes. My old one holds 4 gigabytes of flash memory. This one holds 8. And it's in HD. I will tell you, I paid $100 less for this one in 2013 than I did for that one back in 2009. So my original intention was to begin using this for all of my videos. My recaps, my board game reviews, everything. I ran some tests with this camera in my little setup here, like I do for a pricing game recap. And I could not actually get it to where I'm comfortable with it for a number of reasons. Number one, I know you're not going. This is a comparison I can't actually do on camera, but where the camera mounts on the bottom to my tripod, it is spaced out different. That's number one. That's not the biggest problem, but number two is obviously the lens on this one is positioned slightly different from that one. So when I put it on my tripod, I get the picture. It basically, if I leave my tripod set up as it is right now, it basically puts this camera up higher than that one, than my old one. So I'm still actually working on trying to figure out something to make it work for my pricing game recaps. So for my 6-year anniversary videos and for all my pricing game recaps, both current and retro, since then, I've decided to go with my old camcorder. Now, if you saw my Wheel of Fortune board game review I did for my 6-year anniversary, you'll see that that was actually in HD. And it was. I actually did that in widescreen. Unbeknownst to myself that if I did a video in widescreen like that, I can't actually edit it with the same software I use to edit my other videos. So I will, especially for Wheel of Fortune board game reviews, I will continue to use this camera, but I will not be shooting them in widescreen, or as you want to call it, 16:9. Thankfully, I do have the option of going to 4:3 or full screen on this camcorder, so I will be able to do that. And I am able to edit videos in my software. For in case you're wondering, I normally use Windows Movie Maker to edit videos. This camcorder came with stuff I could download off the internet, like a download link or whatever. And that software, I'm just not used to it. That one, I had a very difficult time editing that Wheel of Fortune board game review simply because I did it in widescreen. But that's one other thing. So any videos I do other than pricing and recaps, I will shoot with this camera. And it won't be, depending on what I do, whether it's full screen or widescreen, will depend on what I do. You know, like my board game reviews, I'll do that in full screen. Other videos, I might shoot in full widescreen or full screen. I actually shot a video about a week and a half ago. I shot on this camcorder, so I gotta do that yet. I'll have that up soon. Speaking of doing videos, that kind of brings me into my next segment. I did mention this hiatus from YouTube. It's not really a hiatus from YouTube in general. It's just a hiatus from my pricing and recaps. I will continue to post videos, but they will be of non-pricing and recaps. And probably not any board game reviews either, although I would like to get some done eventually. So I will continue to be posting stuff. I don't want to say frequently, I don't want to say infrequently, but I will try to get other stuff up. I know it's been a long time since I did any Hot Wheels videos. So maybe I'll get something done there. But anyway, now that I think about videos and stuff, one more announcement, and I think this will probably wrap it up after I'm done with this one. Oh, I need another drink of water here. Recently, I have been given the offer to become a YouTube partner. And I decided to take that offer. And just the other day, I am now officially a YouTube partner. So, starting today, my videos are being monetized. I'm still trying to figure out how this whole being a YouTube partner thing works. So, I would appreciate some pointers here. If any of my friends or subscribers or someone is a YouTube partner, I probably would have some questions to try to figure out how this all exactly works. So, but hey, at least I'm getting some money out of this, doing the YouTube thing now. Hey, who wouldn't want more money, you know? So yeah, so that's another change coming to my channel. I'm gonna say this because I'm sure someone's gonna ask. You can't really just sign up to be a YouTube partner. You kind of have to be offered that. You know, so if you want to become a YouTube partner, you know, you can't really just sign up for it. You just gotta be offered. It's like being at work and getting a promotion. Kind of something like that. So I hope I covered everything I wanted to cover. You know, things just kind of gotta just gotta roll with the punches. So that's what I'm doing here, and unfortunately the pricing and recaps are gonna have to wait. So I had other plans to do retro recaps, but I've always made the retro recaps kind of at my leisure. I never meant to have anything done in any certain fashion unless I planned far ahead, which is what I've done with a lot of my retro recaps. So I think that wraps up everything I wanted to say. I thank you guys for watching. This is NeilRox87. I'll see you next time.